We're just going to start our new format.
Yeah.
You know what? We kind of huddled together.
Yep.
And we decided the thing that we seem to do the best is the news.
Yeah.
So it's just news.
Because that just takes off on its own directions.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. You know, lots of stuff. So we got 10 stories tonight. And we'd love for you, if you're watching live on Facebook, to jump in. And then if you're listening to us on iTunes, Spotify, any of those kinds of things in the future, feel free to join us typically every other Thursday on Facebook Live at 8 o'clock, and you can watch these live and participate with us. But if you listen to the recordings, send us comments and let us know what you think of the stories.
Yeah, get in there. Interact with us. We like it.
Yeah. Yeah, we got 10 stories this week. And 10 of them. Now, we may go through them all. We'll see how we do on time tonight, because I have no idea how this is going to go for show. But it's some of the stuff I would find humorous. Some of it I'm very interested just to chat about.
Right.
As individuals.
I can't wait to hear them, and I don't know anything about them.
No. Yeah. I set a couple of them up with Kevin, our buddy here at East Studios.
Yeah.
So that he could try to pull some video and some images for us, because that's the cool part about doing these things live is we can actually view the images or the videos that we make reference to. So that's kind of cool. Before we move on, thanks again to our Patreon sponsors. You literally are paying all of our bills right now.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Basically, we have one bill. It's Squarespace. And you guys are taking care of that. So we greatly appreciate that. And that's what keeps us going on iTunes and Spotify. And we will take advantage of all the free social media.
Puts us out there to the masses.
Yeah, and that's a big favor that we could ask all of you is, if you dig what we're doing, just share us. Give us a like on our Facebook page.
Or share, that's it.
Yeah, just give us a share. And, that's all we need to get massive one day.
I know.
Be 100 airs.
You're right there.
We're still working on it.
We're right there.
All right. Well, you know what? I wanted to make sure we stuck with you. 10% of the country is currently doing Sober-tober. And guess who's not? It's us.
Oops.
So we are here with you. All right.
We have vacation in October. There's not a chance.
Yeah, no.
Well, I can come up with a reason every month I need
I
to
got
drink.
kids. I ain't staying
holidays.
for that shit.
All right. You guys ready for our first story?
Yeah, what do we got?
All right, here we go. This comes to us from the United Kingdom. Doctors there announced the second ever recorded case of triphallia. That's when a man has not one, not two, but 3 units below the belt.
Are you serious?
Yes.
How many?
He's a tripod.
3.
3.
In physical terms, the man suffered from a illness called utter junkitis. It's literally
What? You're making shit up now.
I am. It literally means that your junk resembles a cow's udders. Yeah. The man was
so
also,
it's uncircumcised.
all 3
All
of them.
3 of
Just
them.
nip the tip.
Yeah, the 78-year-old British man was also showed extraordinary strength in his forearms. Yet
I bet he did.
Yet a gentleness with his hands.
A lot of time alone. His hands are nice
I
and
know.
soft,
It's
but
like,
his
do you
forearms,
just put it in between a couple fingers and...
Oh, I was just trying to picture what this guy looks like before I read into more of the story, and I'll give you some more details here in a second. But I was just picturing him like taking his pants off and just like a cow's udders,
Just
right?
looking like a squid.
there.
He's just like squid
Right?
Hell,
tentacles.
Oh, as a guy, sometimes this might be weird for women to hear this, but sometimes you'll go in and you'll be peeing and like you'll have two streams.
Oh,
Randomly.
yeah. Randomly.
Randomly. Normally, it's just one straight down the middle,
Yep.
and then every now and then you get
that
something-
little stray one.
You have no idea.
Pew, off to the
and I was
side.
thinking of this guy with 3. He would look like that old.
You got to
garden
get a
hose.
funnel for that shit. You put that.
Oh, I was thinking that garden hose that you would put in the front yard, and it was like one of those.
One of them wacky sprinklers. I'm just going to go ahead and get in the shower.
And with goggles on.
Oh, I
So, like, in the morning, are all three of them just like...
He's got morning wood. And
Yeah.
he's got a,
His morning wood looked like one of those things that Pizza Hut would put in pizza. One of those little white
box
tables.
protector. Yeah.
Did I tell you what those are for?
Yeah, it's to be able to hold
It's
it.
to be able to
separated.
pull apart the... I just thought it was a Barbie doll table, so...
I think it protects the cheese too.
Okay.
Yeah,
from the box being mushed
Gotcha.
onto it.
I like that excuse better.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree, because I have never used it to
No.
separate my pizza
Now, here's the
slices.
thing about this poor gentleman. They only found out about the fact that he had 3 penises after he died. He was 78 and donated his body to science, not because
Absolutely.
of the triple wiener thing.
I mean, do you think he went through life thinking this is normal?
He only had one that was normal. That's the other wild part. The other
no.
2 were internal, right? This guy didn't even know he had 3 penises.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so at first, like when you think it's going to look like a cow's udders,
I
it's
thought
really
it was just
one.
like-
That's his center.
Just one. And because, I mean, otherwise, this guy, you know,
How many nuts did he have?
I'm assuming 2. They didn't mention nuts.
Oh, man, that'd be crazy.
They didn't mention
He's
nuts.
got
So-
6 nuts.
but
Like, was it completely... I've got so
they're
many
internal.
questions.
2
It's
of
like
them
a
are
hair
internal.
follicle.
Right, but so they're
rolled
going
up
in, but like, do they still have the full function of, I mean, obviously it's
Obviously
not going
not, I don't
to
think so.
pee.
No, I don't even think this man knew he had 3 penises.
Right.
That's the wild part.
Till they cut
He'd
him
get
open.
excited and then all of a sudden have to toot because they're
get
like
stomach
pressing on
ache.
his,
Yeah. Well, I got 2 bulges in my stomach.
See, now this is one of the advantages of watching us live. Kevin's bringing up. I don't know where the other 2 were stored.
So it's 6 and 7. If we read,
They were inside his body.
yeah, they're inside here.
Oh,
Wow.
So they considered 6 and 7 a penis as well.
Just unformed penis.
Yeah. So it said, which could be extremely painful during intercourse because if you get each one, if all 3 are hard,
Oh,
It's like fucking a triceratops.
it's a hard time.
he keeps belching and farting the whole time.
Oh, he's got those 2 on the inside that are like wisdom teeth. They just,
You gotta get them things pulled, buddy.
oh,
Wow.
would suck. And the wild part is,
never heard of
from what
this.
I understand, Kevin, maybe you read differently, is that he didn't know that he had 3 penises. He thought he had 1.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if they're in you, you don't know.
So this
Hidden
guy
inside the
died,
body.
lived 78 years of his life, and never knew that he had 3 penises. Like, and that's how you become famous. Like, this guy probably died. He's like, man, I'm just a nobody.
Oh, there's a better picture.
So
So number 6 is a penis,
looks
which
like a-
would be the outside.
looks like a little bean.
Number 7 is a penis. So it's like a penis inside a penis, I guess. And then you got this thing, which is obviously.
So it's like one of them Russian doll things. Like
A
there's
nesting doll.
they just keep getting bigger.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 inners are not anything to write home about, so.
Yeah.
What were you impressed with the other one?
Look at my
Not
jaw.
necessarily impressed, but in comparison.
Yeah, I was just trying to picture what that would look like if you were going through an airport and they were doing the X-ray.
Oh,
You're
no.
like, look at this dude with his 2 extra dicks.
Sir, we're going to need a strip search.
Yeah, guys.
We
out
just got to check this out.
here. Like, man, I knew something was wrong with him. He was always acting cocky.
I must.
Wow.
Man,
This guy was awful cocky to be.
I bet he wasn't. I bet he acted like a real dick.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
All right, we've exhausted that topic.
Okay.
moving on to
We're done. We're done with that.
story 2.
Man, that is great.
All right, men over 50. How old are you?
46.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting close. According to a new report, your next prostate exam could be done by a robotic finger.
Ah,
Researchers in China have been working on a flexible finger-like probe.
can't you get that just down the street?
I was gonna say, does it vibrate too?
Oh my gosh. They think it could eventually be used to detect things like an enlarged prostate or abnormal lumps. I actually took I didn't take this. I posted this picture on our Facebook page, and I didn't, come up with the meme, but I think it's genius. But what's wild to me is the picture on the screen. Like, the guy doesn't even seem like comfortable. You'd think that at least he looks like. He's like, man, let's just get this over with.
Just relax.
Have you had one done yet?
No, and I need to. I think I'm okay for a couple of years.
I thought you had to start doing it about the same time that.
I haven't had one done either.
I got to do the colon thing, and I think I'm going to shit in the box.
So a friend of mine just had that done, and it's not as bad as how it sounds like, where you're just like catching a whole turd. So what it is it's. Oh, I feel like I'm cutting out. Am I cutting out?
No, you're good.
Okay. So it comes with it's kind of like a big old piece of paper towel type of deal that goes over so it catches it as you're doing it. Then it's like a thing where you just get like a little sample piece out of it.
Oh, okay. So they don't want.
So you're not sending a whole turd in a box.
Okay. They don't want my whole cow patty.
They don't. You're like, I thought I'd just squat over it.
Sir, we said a urine sample. I was wondering, that's pretty hard to shit in this cup.
After a night of too many drinks, you might need it as a cup anyway.
Oh man! So no, I'm thinking about doing the shit in the box rather than the.
Do you have any history in the family?
No.
See, I do, so I can't.
So you can't shit in the box?
No, I have to have the whole.
All right.
Roto-rooter.
Well, and that leads me to my next question. And I'm serious about this one. And that's the thing about the show now, right? Is we don't have to always be funny. I got a legit question. Would you actually prefer, a woman goes through way more shit than a guy does?
Yeah.
With your lady carriage.
Yeah.
Right? Like, people are down there looking around at early ages. All the time.
All the time.
All the time. And would this be something like, if it was 100%, like you weren't worried about it just going haywire and all of a sudden, would you let a robot do that instead of having a human being that maybe you didn't know? Like, if it was like you moved to a new town?
No.
You'd rather have the human do it?
I think so. Even though, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because a lot of the surgery's done now. That's essentially what laparoscopy is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I
still
feel
a
about
doctor
it yet.
controlling it.
Yeah.
Well,
but a doctor's also able to be like, all right, relax.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe that's the thing.
Instead of being like, now
why do you
I
have
need
both
you to
hands on my
relax.
shoulders?
It spits out your diagnosis like a Zoltron card. Oh, man.
A big check on it.
It just says big, like in the movie, but you're like, oh man, my prostate's enlarged. I don't know. I'd be interested. I don't honestly like the whole idea of something going into my ass is really, it's hard for me to even think about. And so I don't know.
I'm going to need to get it done. So hell, why not?
I'm going to go
try
in.
I'll be the guinea pig.
First thing you're going to do when you're looking for physicians is check out the size of their fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that brings me into another thing I wanted to bring up with this story, which is the ever-growing number of robots and the things they're taking over.
Oh, yeah.
That we typically use
robots,
a human
AI.
or someone that's alive, like a dog even.
Yeah.
So, obviously in the last few years, you've heard about robotic lovers.
Yeah.
People are buying sex machines now. And I just read a story this week where they're selling pets that are basically, it's like a Furby, but on steroids.
Oh, jeez.
Where it's AI and it can learn its name and will come to you and that sort of thing.
Half these people have dead Tamagotchis in their house.
What's a Tamagotchi?
Remember that little?
You don't remember
pocket
those
thing?
little pocket?
Oh, is that the one you had to feed? And
And if it died, you're done.
You're
Your
you had to go buy
handheld
a new
is
one.
done.
Well, there's another one that I saw this just this week, and look how, it doesn't look real at all, but
No.
it's probably cheaper than dating.
It'll pay
Definitely
off in the
cheaper
long
than
run.
marriage.
And you can turn her off when you're tired of it.
Oh,
You can mute
man.
her.
You just stretch out your arms.
Look how happy
Oh.
this guy is.
Click it off.
Look how real they look.
I wonder if she can put a fence up.
That's the thing. Like, you have to buy certain like extras, like apps. You're like, you got to have the Kegel app.
Yeah.
As soon as I can strap a fleshlight to an iRobot, I'm done with women.
That looks about like it.
You know
right
what?
there,
How old are you, Kevin?
39.
Well, you're older. I am. I'm interested to see how many kids that are in high school, college now will live their entire life and have very little human interaction.
Oh, yeah.
They already do.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? So this new thing came out just this week. It's a AI necklace. It's $99, and it looks like a an Apple iTag that hangs around your neck.
Okay.
And it literally listens to you engage and interact all day long.
What? I never heard this.
Yeah, right there. And
Okay.
so it's $100, and it listens to what you're saying, and then if you tap it twice, it will respond and send you a text message, like having a conversation. Like you could be sitting there watching a game, going, "Can you believe he threw that?" And just hit the button. And then again, it'll be like, "He's a piece of shit. They should cut him." $100. It's cheap.
I already have Alexa.
Here's the interesting thing about this, right? So the idea is this AI is strapped around your neck, and it's listening to you engage with you. Well, hear me out on this, because this is where my mind goes with it.
Yeah.
So right now it sends you a message, but what happens if they get to I'm sure this is less than a decade away, where they will be able to capture your voice just like they do with AI today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What if you could have one of those that was around your mom's neck for 10 years? And so every piece of advice she's ever given anybody, it basically figures it out. And then when you lose a loved one, to be able to ask your grandfather, your dad, your uncle a question, and then AI is going to figure out all the algorithms of what they would say.
And come back in their voice,
in
too.
their voice.
Oh, that'd be freaky.
Would you do it?
Oh, God, I don't know.
No.
I don't
Really?
think I
I'm too
would.
old for that shit.
Well, I feel like that, I don't know. I mean, for one, if I had one of those things around my neck anyway, it would probably just go, "Girl, you just need to go to therapy." Yeah.
Be like, you cuss way too much.
That'd be funny.
It's not that deep, Kim.
It
I
shuts you
promise.
off.
You need
Yeah.
to calm down.
It shuts itself off. It's like, I can't.
I
Is
can't
that the
with
new
you.
life alert, too?
Maybe.
Right.
But also, I don't know that if you can constantly have your loved ones that have passed talking to you, I feel like that kind of hinders some of your grieving process.
That's
too.
what you know what?
Yeah.
Amanda said we don't have sound. Are you good now?
Okay.
All right, good. No, I agree with you, Gibbler. But honestly, like, I sit and I watch a lot of reality television. I love reality TV.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that, especially in the last few seasons, AJ and I talk about this all the time, everyone on those shows are so much more emotional than any time I've ever watched those kinds of shows. They cry all the time. All of them.
Everything sets them
Everything crying all the time. And I'm at a point now where I don't know that people, even at a younger age, know how to deal with adversity very well. And so I could see them doing that just as a way to not have to deal with it. I'm not saying it's right. I mean, we're not psychologists.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, though.
Right.
But because the other part about it would be is maybe it's not you that needs to hear it, but maybe it's advice that your great-great-granddaughter one day, hypothetically, could have from your the great-great, unless they're an asshole. That's the thing.
Right. I was like, do you really want your
No, that's the wild part, right? Like, people talk about President Trump and all the weird shit he says. He's an old rich white guy that was raised by old rich white guys. I mean, are you really surprised at the shit he says?
My dads would just keep going, "Girl, if you're going to be stupid, you better be strong."
Right? That's what I mean. Like, they don't evolve with modern day.
Oh, yeah.
But AI is interesting as hell to me. And I was thinking about it because, like, if you had a dog instead of an actual dog, right? And I'm like, there's just something about the connection you see when you see something in its eyes
And
Yeah.
that you know it's real.
Not something dead. Like, I like those dead eyes. There's nothing there.
Right.
Yeah.
And as far as guys go with like the sex doll thing,
Yeah.
it is no surprise to me that
That'll
we
stick his thing in anything.
Oh my God, we'll stick it in our hand. We've been doing it for decades and we enjoy the hell out of it. Like,
But you always have to fantasize about something else. It's not like you're like, oh, that thing looks very attractive.
no, you just got most of the time you just look at something.
Yeah.
I'm serious. We are dumb creatures. We are. You are a more way evolved species, females, than men are. And when it comes, but that's how we're supposed to be, right? We're just out there, and you're, yeah. All right. Here's our third story for the night. This comes to us from New York City. 6 years ago, a 56-year-old drunk man fell onto the subway tracks, and a train operator failed to stop the subway in time.
All right.
The train ran him over, and it severed one of his legs, his hip joint. I'm not even liquored yet, and most of his arm. So it's coming up. He must have fell on it sideways.
Did he do it on purpose?
No, he was liquored, and he just stumbled and fell over, and then he got ran over. Now, he did survive, but he is unable to work, so he filed a lawsuit against the MTA, and he won.
I bet he did, yeah.
The court awarded him $90 million.
Holy crap.
This guy lost an arm and a leg.
He should get half of that, though.
Half? Just, well,
Because he lost half.
well, it's what he's worth, I guess.
I was like, with taxes, yeah.
Now, I made a comment on the radio, 1017 The Point. I do that show on the weekends. And I said, if I hear this story, there's got to be people in New York City that are like, is that all I got to do?
Right.
Is like,
Lose a limb.
Jump out in front of a cab or
just fall in front of this train, let it run me over. And because then I start thinking, I think for my pinky toe, I could pay off my mortgage. If you get $90 million for an arm and a leg,
wow. Yeah.
what's a pinky toe worth?
What? We could take a foot. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
So let me ask you both a question, and I'm serious about this. If someone came to you right now and said, I'm going to sign you a check for $90 million, but we're going to cut your arm and your leg off. So you're basically going to live the rest of your life.
Do I get a pick?
No, it's
Left
just like
or
this
right?
guy.
Left or right?
No, I don't know. Let's say you do.
Okay.
I don't even care if you get to pick. You're going to lose one of your legs all the way up to your hip joint
Okay.
and an arm, and you get a check for $90 million.
Okay.
So you would do it.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not hating on that.
Yeah.
Because that's the interesting part about this question.
I wouldn't.
Well, see, that's the whole thing. Like, so you don't have any children, correct?
Correct.
You have a bunch,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
Right? And I'm not hating. You two are vastly different on that spectrum. So for someone like Puddin', he may look at that 90 million as I'm setting my family up for generations. Whereas
Invest
you
it.
may look at it like, why do I want to make that kind of money and have the rest of my life be shit
Right.
I could
just
buy
to leave it?
Some cool prosthetics and stuff.
Oh, for 90
I
million.
get like a flamethrower arm.
Oh my God.
You're going to use up all the kids'
Only you would
inheritance?
think of this.
Like a little dart gun.
Oh my God, he's a
He's going to get a
Spider-Man
shrimp.
villain.
He's going to go on a shrimp boat and be like, Lieutenant Dan.
So that, I don't know that I have two kids, and I honestly think if my life for the rest of my life is shit for their
Theirs
benefit,
is taken care of.
I don't think that they're going to be that good off anyway. I think they would rather have a dad that's in a good place, right? And but then I was curious, like, let's take the most basic thing in your life that you could have cut off, and let's say it's your pinky toe. I made a joke about it.
Yeah.
If someone came to you right now and said, Kim, you wouldn't do the 90 million for an arm and a leg. Totally get it.
Yeah.
It's gonna. Your clothes won't fit the same. Your golf game isn't gonna get any better.
Right?
Right? For $1,000, one pinky toe.
You can have it. I only have little nubbin anyway.
So there you go, $1,000.
$1,000, take them both.
I bet you there'd be a lot of
yeah.
nine-toed people in this world. Maybe 8-toed.
Hell, I get you a toe. I get you a toe.
Right?
Put a little paint on it.
I'm curious how many people watching this
Yeah.
would sell a toe for $1,000. And I bet you there'd be
I would
a
like
bunch.
to, yeah.
The pinky
Get
toe.
Pinky toe.
You could still wear
What- yeah.
flip-flops.
What would it take for you to lose a pinky toe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question, right?
Yeah.
That's a question to ask around. Holidays are coming up. That's
Yep.
the kind of thing to ask.
Christmas.
I mean, I'd get rid of one
it
of my
didn't cost
nuts.
me an arm and a leg, but it did cost me a couple pinky toes.
All right. Are we ready for our fourth story?
What do we got?
Officers in Portland, Oregon recently stopped a man and a woman in their 30s. They were driving a stolen car And then they searched the vehicle. They found cash, a loaded revolver, scales, drugs that included 10 grams of fentanyl and meth. But the drugs were surprisingly easy to spot because the couple had put them inside a bag that read, "Definitely not a bag full of drugs."
You know what? You almost had me. I was like, that's definitely not a bag full of drugs, but I'm going to go ahead and look anyways.
Yeah, this makes me think totally against the idea of coming up with a bumper sticker that says "Definitely not a dead body in the trunk."
Yeah.
Yeah, because is this that?
Definitely not a drug mule.
Yeah.
This is the beauty of watching us live now. Definitely
not a bag full of drugs.
That's awesome.
great.
What I love about it is, when they bought it, they thought it was hilarious.
She probably made it with her cricket.
But here's the thing. You got all that in a stolen vehicle.
Right.
Like,
Right.
obviously, we're not dealing with the price.
Oh my gosh! Right. In a bag that says "definitely." I wonder where you buy that at. I mean, that doesn't.
Spencer's.
Yeah.
Shein.
I haven't seen anything like that at one Richmond farmers
Shein.
market.
Shein.
Maybe it's that night market.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. All right, here we go. Story 5. An Ohio father ended up in the hospital after he was run over by his 9-year-old son while he was teaching the boy how to drive.
At 9.
Yeah, this happened a few weeks ago.
Don't you normally do that in the car?
Yeah, well, we've got video of this if you're watching this live.
Oh, no.
Now, there's the gentleman there. There's his,
Well, it looks like they already have a handicap ramp. So
well, that's maybe why he needed a ride. He's going to teach these kids how to drive.
to the liquor store, apparently.
Yeah, it happened around 1 p.m. on a Sunday in the 100 block of Carbon Street in Toledo. And the video was obtained through surveillance video of the incident from a home across the street. So it must be somebody over there. It shows the 36-year-old Clegion Williams inside the open door jamb of the driver's side of the car.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Oh,
There we go. There we go. Oh, shit. Oh.
That's going to leave a mark.
Oh, he gets up. Look at the kid. He's like, man.
That's worth a replay.
Yeah, let's watch that again.
yeah.
Yeah, so he's across the street there.
I was just checking out the guy on the porch still, so yeah.
Yeah.
Now, apparently,
it's across
Williams,
the
he had told the boy to hit the brake, but the boy didn't know which pedal was what, so he hit the gas, and the car was in reverse.
That would have been the first thing I told him.
Put in reverse, Terry.
Terry, put it in
reverse.
Was his name Terry?
No, his name
Wow.
is Clewan. Clejon.
What?
Clewan. How do you
That's short for Terry.
Juan.
Clewan. All right. It was 1 o'clock on a Sunday. I figured the dad needed a ride to the liquor store to get more beer for the football games, right?
Definitely. Right before they started.
This must have been when
wow.
they had like the 9:30 London game or something.
Oh, man.
Right, yeah. I'm telling you right now, if you're watching the 9:30 games, you have to be drinking beer.
You got to.
They're horrible.
Oh,
If you're
that's
watching
what's just so
the
bad.
Jags and the Patriots. Man,
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
a meme the other day that said, "This is the worst thing we've done to England since we declared for independence."
Yes.
Now, here's the wild part. So there was a 9-year-old in the driver's seat. There was another younger kid in the back seat.
Oh, yeah.
So he loaded up the family. So yeah, he
He
was
was drunk.
he was needing a ride.
Yep.
But I'm just thinking that these two kids, for the rest of their life, they're going to have the remember that time you ran over Dad?
Remember that time?
And he got in trouble,
Right?
Shit, Dad. Don't start shit with me, Dad. I'll run you over again.
Yeah, this is wild. All these stories come from the last 2 weeks.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
They were waiting for us to come back.
What a time to be alive.
Here is story 6. A guy in Milwaukee drove drunk. This is just Monday night.
Oh, no.
And he got on the highway going in the wrong direction. That's never good, right?
No.
Well, ironically, right after he got on the highway, he passed Kamala Harris's motorcade.
Oh, what?
Shut up.
Yes! The footage of his white car driving slowly on the left shoulder
What a Ford Bronco was it?
Oh,
as the motorcade zipped by. There was a police escort for Mrs. Harris, obviously, and the two cops immediately pulled him over. One report said that he was within inches of causing a crash. Now, I'm going to assume that it wasn't her vehicle. Otherwise, we may have heard more about this. But,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The police report says the 55-year-old driver, look at this. There he is right down there.
right down there. Ah.
Holy shit. How do we not hear about this? This is what After 2 Beers is all about. It's bringing these kinds of
wow.
stories.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. And we got him.
I like how it was the last guy. He's like, I'll pick him up.
Yeah, they just radioed that. Hey, can you get
You guys
that guy?
got her, right?
Look at that.
Can you figure out what this guy's doing back here, guys?
The police report says the 55-year-old seemed extremely surprised when cops told him he almost hit the vice president's car. Wow. He didn't realize he was going the wrong direction and didn't even remember getting on the highway. My question, and I
What
mean,
did he blow? What was his?
I think he melted the breathalyzer.
oh
on
my
that
God. Where do you think you get locked up for almost hitting a vice president with a car while you're drunk?
one. Oh, right.
I mean, that's at least 90 days, right? Without your
I don't know.
license.
Did anybody get any jail time for almost clipping or did clip the ear of the ex-president?
Well, they gave him time served. They killed him within a minute.
Yeah. He was done.
Yeah, it was signed,
He got
sealed,
life.
Oh,
delivered.
that's right.
He got
did.
life.
Okay.
He got life.
Yeah.
He served life. Yeah.
I forgot that. Yeah.
Well,
You
and
know.
actually, I'm glad you brought that up because that's the question that I have
Like,
about
is this
this.
attempted murder or
No,
attempted
what-
assault?
My question is, how does this happen? Honestly, and no jokes now. You mentioned Donald Trump, and that's agreed. How the hell is that guy alive right now by just a few centimeters?
Right.
Right, and this
Right.
was a kid.
Right.
And then now you have this situation here where they clearly didn't close down the exits.
Well,
Right.
I wonder how long he had been driving.
It looked like he was just coming off the off ramp,
Right.
or I guess in this case he made
Well,
it the on ramp.
Probably what happened is that the entrance ramp was probably closed down because of this, but they didn't close down the exit ramp. Maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
you would think
He was
they'd
like,
have-
I can't get on that way. Let's go this direction.
Well, the fact that the car was able to advance that far down the shoulder,
yeah.
because, and here's the reason I bring this up, and this is where we get a little silly on After Two Beers. Here's where we go back. I've watched so many random movies about how much it takes to be able, like, what's the Air Force One?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How much work they have to go through to
Make everything secure.
Yeah. And you've got two random assholes. You got one kid
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania
But
who was cited
150 yards away?
he was cited hours ahead.
Yeah.
And then you got some drunken asshole that almost hits the vice president just driving along.
Just trying to get home.
I don't know why they call him Secret Service. They ought to
Obviously-
call him Shitty Service. 'Cause,
Obviously, he didn't have a 9-year-old to drive him.
Right?
God, it's the only way that kid's ever going to see his dad again, though. Visitation rights.
Hey, Dad, remember that time you almost hit the vice president?
God.
Jackass.
And I guarantee you, here's the wild part about the United States, right? When Trump almost got shot, I'm sure there were people that were like, damn it, they
Yeah.
almost got him.
Yeah.
And I'm sure reading this story right now, there are people watching this that are going, damn it,
Almost got her.
Both ways.
Oh, yeah.
It does, man. We are a violent nation. Let's be straight up.
I bet it was Joe.
I don't know where I'm going.
They told me
I
to be on
was
the
asleep, and
interstate.
next thing I know, I'm driving.
That's really funny. Nicely done.
It was
Nicely
Grandpa
done.
Joe.
Aw, Sleepy Joe.
I knew this was on my calendar. I
They said 56, not 86.
Yeah.
Jeez. Story 7. A North Dakota woman. This story's fucking crazy to me. This all happened within the last 2
Oh,
weeks.
I love it.
And we don't hear about
We
this
don't
stuff.
hear a lot about
All
it.
right. A North Dakota.
And now the liquor's kicking in.
Yeah. A North Dakota woman was sentenced to 25 years in prison for poisoning her boyfriend after mistakenly believed he had inherited $30 million and
I'd heard
planned
about
to
this.
break up with
Yes.
her. The
Yeah, I heard about this one.
Well, how is she going to get it anyway?
I think
She's
she was
just-
just pissed.
Ah.
Her name, Thea Kenoyer. She's 48.
What?
Here, I'm going to start letting you
check this.
do all the names.
Ina Thea Kenoyer,
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Ina Thea.
48, was convicted for the murder of Stephen Riley Jr., 51, who died last year from ethylene glycol poisoning, the same toxin found in antifreeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, you knew that already.
Phew.
She antifreezed him.
Yep.
Man.
It's like dogs you don't like. You can soak a hot dog in it. I wonder if that's how she did that. He's from North Dakota.
They like hot dogs.
I'm from Indiana and I like hot dogs.
What's North Dakota known for anyway?
Well, officials say the woman poisoned Riley just hours after she found out that from an email that he had received that he was supposedly going to inherit $30 million.
Oh, is this from a Nigerian prince?
But the victim's son, 21-year-old Ryan Riley, told the Post that the couple had unwittingly fallen victim to an online scam,
Oh,
and there was
was.
never any money.
What was she like? Gonna claim it? How was she even gonna
I
get
think
it?
she was just pissed. It said that she was.
She thought that he was going to break up with her.
Yeah. She's like, fuck him. If he can't, is this the guy here? That's the.
Yeah.
That guy loved hot dogs.
There she is.
Oh, Ina.
I know. Look how
come
unhappy
on.
she is. She kind of looks like Beetlejuice.
Large Marge.
And it's not just because she's in
Large
stripes.
Marge sent you. Yeah, she does look like, well, yeah. This poor guy right
I
here.
mean,
Well, I wrote in my notes that honestly, when you hear the first part, which is this woman killed a man, I really believe the second part that they could fall for an online scam.
Yeah.
after seeing
yeah.
them, I would definitely agree.
Yeah. And here's the thing that I've always thought, like in this story here, I don't know how long they dated, but this is another reason why you really don't want to end a good relationship you're in, right? Because there are people that will kill you out there.
Yes.
Like if it doesn't work out, you may die. Right? Like what's the worst thing that happens
Does
if
this
you
meat
get
taste funny? No, it's fine.
I ain't eating them. I'm a vegetarian, just this meal. Then I'm going to eat like a king because I got 30 million coming. Oh, they fell for a scam and she killed him.
Man.
America. All right. Here's our next story. Story 8 for the evening.
I like
you guys
it.
liking this?
I
Yeah,
am.
it's on a
Are
nice
there any
pace.
names I need to read for you?
Yeah. From now on. Oh, this is the good one. This is you're. And now on, I'm gonna. If you can do these, I'll just sit here with pudding, and we'll just get liquored. This is our 8th story. This comes to us from San Antonio, from a SeaWorld.
Oh, I remember seeing a little bit of this. I know exactly what
Heard
this
about
is.
this.
This is audience members were attending an orca show at the SeaWorld San Antonio, and they got more than they bargained for when the killer whale took a shit in the pool. Well, we'll see what happens here on the video. Then we'll talk about it for our listeners here. But there's the whale right there. He just finished dinner, and there it is. Just
Poo.
mud butt all over the pool. Now look at this.
Look at that poor kid.
He's like, oh, he's
He's like,
pool.
oh
We
my
need to run.
goodness.
Now here comes the whale again. This is like what he's been waiting on.
Oh,
2 whales, 1 cup.
Right. This isn't a golden shower, it's a brown shower.
I mean, tell me that you've never had like a little splash up.
In the in the
For
tub,
yourself.
in the toilet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at this.
That's a lot of splash up.
Here it comes
Ooh.
out again. Now these 2 poor kids are sitting in the front, like, man, we love SeaWorld, Daddy. Thanks
look
for
at
bringing
that.
us.
Bringing us. This is the best. I got the poo on me.
The TikTok showed the orca swimming in the glass-filled, the glass-walled pool with a cloud of whale poop, and like we were talking off air, you know that water smelled horrible. Yeah, like those things literally just eat fish all day.
Oh, that was.
They said it elicited a mixture of shock, disgust, and amusement. I
had my mouth
It
open
is an
and
amusement
everything.
park.
I got to tell you, I have never been more happy for a whale in my life.
Yes.
I'm
Getting some
serious about
revenge.
this. If I was stuck in a tank all day long, this is exactly what I would do every time, until they let me go. I'm like,
He's
you
out
might
there
as-
going,
We can't put him out there. He just shits on everybody.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. Apparently this place has 5 total orcas, and as I was reading, and I'm like, I want them to go, because these are smart animals.
Yeah.
Do you think they're all back there going, oh man, you got them good? You're like, man, I haven't shit in 2 days on purpose. on
Watch this.
Porpoise.
On purpose.
hold my shrimp.
You won't do it.
Oh man,
You won't shit on him.
oh, it's called the shit splash. I'm gonna shit splash them. I'm tired of them.
Tired of it.
Tired of them. You know what? You know how you solve this problem? You let them go.
Yeah.
Those things
How
don't
about
deserve
no
to
more
be in a
orca
tank.
shows?
Oh, it's bullshit. Anyway. All right. Story 9. This is a 10-month-old state-of-the-art fire station in Germany burned to the ground last week because it caught on
Wait a minute.
fire.
You
We
said
have a former
fire
firefighter here. This
fire
isn't-
station caught on fire?
The fire station caught on fire, and the reason was that the city had decided not to install fire alarms in the station. Apparently, there's no code that requires them there, so they didn't do it. Thankfully, no one was injured. Now, Kevin, this is great having you here as a former firefighter and someone that's worked in these facilities. Is it common for no one to be at the station?
Very common.
So like nobody. So like if there's a fire, you could just walk in and have a bowl of chili and play with the dog.
They lock it up, I'm sure.
They lock them up now, like key fob entrance and stuff like that. But it is common.
Okay, well, there you go. I was curious about that. Because that's the only way this story works is there's literally no one there. The cause hasn't been confirmed, but they believe it may have been a battery charger that overheated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damages exceed $22 million because they didn't install fire alarms. Now, this is...
must have been state of the art.
Well, nobody was there to answer the call.
Well, you didn't know to go back.
They were probably at the grocery.
That's the wildest part. When you see the fire truck pull up and you're like, you think somebody's in there has slipped and fall or they need groceries?
They need some food.
You think they would DoorDash? You think the city would provide DoorDash for groceries to be delivered so they don't have to take the fire truck?
I don't know how that works.
I'm already out. Let's take it for a ride.
Yeah.
No comment.
He's like, that's the best part of being a firefighter. You get to ride around the truck all day when there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I mean, I want to ride in a fire truck.
It is, but there's just a lot of, perception's reality. When you see them at the grocery, it's like, well, they got to get groceries. And
Yeah, they got to get food for the firehouse.
And then there is a lot of downtime, but when there's not downtime, it's like really hard on them. So,
well, I mean, they've got to have the fire truck with them.
Oh, absolutely.
In case they're there and something gets called.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I was under the impression that at least one person would hang back just in case a fire broke out. But apparently not.
No, they all need to be on the engine or ladder or medic or whatever.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's something I learn every day. But the thing that I'm the most interested about this, and this is the only part that we're going to talk about the election at all, and this reminds me of why it's so. No. We don't want to. That's the beauty of After Two Beers.
Yeah,
you got to hear that shit on CNN and Fox News and your local news.
Over it.
Yeah, we're over it. So this is the only reason I'm going to bring this up. Is you hear a story like this and you realize it was the city that decided not to do this. These are elected officials.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this was in Germany. I don't know how their process works, but here in even a small town like Richmond, Indiana, there's elected officials that are going to oversee a budget, that are going to see these kinds of things. And this is the kind of story that a small city like Richmond, we may have a firehouse that would be worth millions of dollars, right? This is the kind of thing that could bankrupt a city. Because now you got to rebuild the facility.
You're out $22
million. And let's say it was $100,000 to because clearly they didn't have a fire extinguisher system or something in there either.
Yeah.
State of the art, but they have nothing in you'd think firehouse would have fire.
Water, the water things.
Sprinklers.
Yeah, there we go. That's what they're called.
Nothing. So my only point to this is whether you are voting for President Trump or Vice President Harris in the upcoming election, you make your own choice on that.
Make sure they put alarms in your fire department.
Well, my whole thing is these are why these elections are so important. It's the local elections. This is where you actually make a difference within your own community. It's an opportunity for you to get your voice heard. And if you don't like the direction that your community is moving in, that's how you can fix it.
It's definitely the local level that does all of that. Because right now, the finance committee at the city council is working to defund the fire department right now.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's at your local, and that's just because of a former fire chief that's disgruntled.
Hey, man.
So it's a local level.
For that kind of shit.
It's a local level. You know, Kamala and Trump, they have no idea. So, I mean, it's nothing they even have anything to do with. It's your local level.
Yeah.
And it's the local level that everyone's afraid to even talk about because it's local.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But that's why I'm saying these elections that even if you don't want to vote for the president, write somebody in. But you can really make an impact here locally.
Definitely vote local.
Pedro. Vote for Pedro.
Some.
Yeah. All right. We're delicately going to leave that subject behind. But, hey, we got away from it. I don't think we're going to get any death threats over that. All right. Here's our 10th and final story.
10, Billy
of
Bob.
the week. 10. All right. Here we go. Nearly 50 employees at a Maryland business were sent to a hospital after a coworker's homemade food led to a mass food poisoning.
This is why don't eat
stuff
what
people bring.
everybody made.
That we're going to talk about
you
that.
can't eat what everybody made.
Responders from the Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue.
They had to call in the fire
Oh
department.
my God.
Probably to hose down the place.
All right. There's like shit and vomit everywhere.
They're orcan everywhere.
It looks like an orca took a shit there.
Just orca splashing everywhere.
Oh, they arrived at the NAFCO wholesale seafood distributor.
Oh, no.
You think they got their own fish in their own place and then went at home and made it? It was in Jessup, Maryland on 345 on Monday. 46 adults reported feeling sick and displayed symptoms of food poisoning. They were all transported to a nearby hospital.
Holy smokes.
And fortunately, none were listed in critical
that's good.
condition.
That's good.
Yeah, so no one's going to die. But
So what was the dish?
I didn't see the Kevin may be
Culprit.
able to find some of this, but actually it leads me into how we're going to finalize this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what you said. So we used to work at a company together here in Richmond called Belden. Big company. And I started in inside sales. Gibbler worked there.
Yep.
And I'm not saying anything against the company, so that's why I openly said the name of the place. But regardless, the inside sales team was notorious for having pitch-ins.
We had them all the time.
Oh, it's like, hey, somebody took a shit last week. Let's have a pitch-in to celebrate.
Hey, you sold something.
Right?
All day long. There's celebrations like this all the time.
Hey, we're going to celebrate everybody this.
Yeah.
But what was interesting about it is what Kim said, which is there were people, I didn't really care because I wasn't that big of a partaker in these things. But there were individuals that would intentionally watch somebody come in to see what dish they were carrying to know not to eat out
so
of
they
that
already
dish.
knew not to eat.
Well, they had...
Well, when you work with people and you can
know.
see some of their grooming habits and some of their...
You already know.
Yeah, or that like
You're like, I
you-
know who they've been with.
if you always smell like cat pee,
Chances
I'm going
are.
to guess there's going to be cat hair in that food. If you constantly talk about all 12 of your cats.
12 cats.
And Edna made a special casserole with
It's like on a Christmas
I don't
vacation.
know. I just there's some things where it's just like, yeah.
So there
I
were-
always find out who made what before
Yeah.
you eat it.
I think
back
you got-
then.
yeah.
So
who made this? No, I'm good.
yeah.
So you would do that too?
What? Skip something? If I-
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the wild part, my son's an engineering major, and we had engineers in the other half of the building. Those guys, they would walk around like catfish at the end of a Friday night.
Oh man, they were
is
always
scooping
They're
it
like,
up.
Oh, man.
I heard you guys had food.
Oh,
Didn't even
They
care,
would just
did
come
they?
down.
No.
They never came down to that side of the building except for when they sniffed it out.
we had
He had
one
to
guy
pitch in.
and I called him catfish. I said, you are just out bottom feed. Like all day long, he would make rounds. Just,
How you guys doing down here? Oh,
We got food.
we got some food.
this isn't your department. Get out of here.
But you got food. Hello. Hello.
You know, it's funny when you work in an office. When I first started in that little office, there was probably 70 of us in that department. And when I left, well, when Kim left, even more recently, there was probably, 15 of you down there?
Oh well, most people were working from home, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We had desks that the two of you are facing each other. I had a lady that I worked with named Michelle, and we were so tight down there that our two desks faced each other, and we had like a little half partition that would come up to about here, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
And that
going
was
downstairs.
it. And we're both on the phone, right? Talking. We were in like customer service,
Yeah.
right? And this is much of the part. Talk about like no privacy at work, right? You're like your doctor can't call you a test results
No.
while Michelle's sitting across from
You
you.
can't get that bug out your nose.
No,
Just
well,
wanna pick
and
at it,
then
man.
what the funniest part too is about it is like you would hear things about COVID and being 6 feet.
Yeah.
We were literally, and when I say it was this far, I'm being generous. The desk partitions on this side were probably like this.
Yeah.
And they were pushed together to hold the wall up.
Yeah.
And that's how close we sat.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wild to me.
Oh, man.
You learn
A
really
lot about
quick.
people.
Oh my gosh. I knew when their kids fucked up. I knew when their grandbabies were
I know when they let their 9-year-old drive their car into a pole.
I had a guy one time come into work, and he's like, man, my son got fucked up on Saturday. And he come home on Sunday morning, and his car was all jacked up. And we don't know what he hit.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
And he goes, we had to go driving to find.
figure out.
Yeah. And he goes, we
wow.
found where we think he hit a chain link fence. He goes, we wrote a check and left it and just said, here's for the fence.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
My
And I'm like, why are you sharing this at work? I wouldn't even share
That's
this
the
with
thing
my
is that
family.
you get to know so much about your coworkers that
the shit
a lot
you
of times
don't
it's
wanna
more than
know.
what
Fair.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Pitch in, yes or no?
I'm kind of with Gibbler. Like I would eat some of the stuff.
So, yeah, I think if I knew who it was, I would.
Yeah. I was more concerned with the ones I wouldn't want to eat from.
Yeah.
But otherwise, hey, who doesn't like a good free
Yeah.
meal?
I know, right?
Right? What are you gonna do? Get food poisoning?
I was that little extra protein in there.
46 people. Oh, you think they gave him shit at work?
Oh, not anymore. All right, no more pitch ins.
Oh, right.
Corporate policy.
I thought you guys all liked sushi.
From the gas station.
Oh, well, there you go. That is our first episode of After Two Beers with the news focus. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys have liked it.
I have.
Yeah,
That is great.
Well, good. You can still follow us on our Facebook pages and our social media pages as well. You
Yeah.
can give us a listen on iTunes and Spotify. And if that's actually how you're listening to us, make sure you come and watch us on Facebook. Thanks again to our Patreon sponsors. In all seriousness, we make literally $40 a month, and it costs $38 a month to do the show.
There you go.
So the other $2 a month goes
Plus
to
beer.
our beer budget.
Beer budget.
Yeah. So without you guys, literally, we've cut our costs. The webpage is no longer. Nobody seemed to go to it much anyway, so
Yeah.
that's not a big deal.
No.
But if you want to come and hang out with us while we record these shows, if you just want to hang out at home and with your sex robot and send us messages, that's cool too.
Or if they want to hang out with us live,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
come Wednesdays to the Elks
Yeah.
in Richmond.
So we just started our trivia back at the Richmond Elks. We're going to have a full schedule online on our Facebook page, but we'll be back there next Wednesday
Yep.
on October 30th at
Halloween
7:30.
special.
Yeah, we're going to dress up or do something fun and it's a fun time. I enjoy it.
Yeah,
is.
it's a blast.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So much fun.
Thanks again to our buddy Kevin Shook here at East Studios for helping us
Kevin.
out and basically being our producer in the studio tonight.
Yeah.
If this is something that you would like to do, if you've got ideas with your friends and family, or maybe it's something you want to do at work, reach out to Kevin here at the East Studio Global Media. What's your
Headquarters.
Headquarters? What do you?
Just global media.
Global Media.
Media.
Yeah,
There you go. And Kevin will get you all set up with that. So,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, there you go. I put that out.
Warm scrambled egg. One handful per
I'm
child.
putting pierogies out. One pierogi.
Pierogi. You know what's wild about this? Now, that's
Fake.
yeah. But when I was a kid, we used to get hand-wrapped shit all the time.
All the time.
and
yeah,
people didn't
popcorn
think
balls.
popcorn balls.
Were the best.
Yes.
But they were the one family we got them from. You knew because they were good because they had a Coke machine outside their house too. So during the summer,
Nothing says cheap like making your kids go buy their own sodas.
yeah,
All
we got
right.
soda.
Well, thanks again to all of our viewers and listeners to the show. We greatly appreciate it.
Yep.
And we say it at the end of every show, and it is by far the most important thing we say in our full hour of doing this. And it's simply this, especially as we approach the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas right around the corner. If there's somebody in your life that you just feel like they're just not being themselves, or they just don't, they feel off, like there might be something going on, do me a favor and just reach out to them. Just send them a text message, stop by their house, give them a phone call, anything it is, just to let them know, hey, you care about them, you appreciate them, and you just want to see how they're doing.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how something so small might be the thing that makes somebody just keep moving and forward. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I guess without further ado, Gibbler, we will be back 2 weeks here,
Yep.
and
Yep.
we'll talk to you all then.
After 2 beers.